It's on its way, right? It's getting closer.
It's funny, but the kids were like, we used, I'm not sure that I will actually use it. Support person. There's stuff me. Yeah.
Oh, and you said there's a,
Yeah, but if you spend $50, someone on sale, like, you have to buy that.
Sure, go ahead. If you need them, go for it. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are going to, this is a new setting that we're trying for small services. And just tell us afterwards, does this feel comfortable? Was there something you'd prefer? We're so lucky that we don't have a room with fixed pews in it that we can't move around, so we can try different things. And we're looking for something that's a little more informal than straight rows and a little bit easier to handle than that supposed circle that more looks like a deformed circle, whatever. So let us know afterwards whether this works for you. So welcome to Shabbat. Please take a minute, take a breath, relax, stop running from whatever you were doing, and just center yourselves and be here for a little while. Sherry, would you mind closing the door for me? Thank you very much. So a number of the people here tonight already got to share what was the best thing that happened to them this week, but not with these people. So please take a minute and think back through your week. And there's a time for kvetching, a time for complaining about things that weren't perfect, but now is just a time to enjoy something that was good this week. Whether it was really wonderful or whether it was just a time that was a little bit easier than the rest of the time during the week, think about what the best thing was that happened this week. So now we're going to have a meeting of the minds, and everybody on this side has to talk to somebody on this side to whom you're not related and share back and forth the best thing that happened to you this week. So go for it. Okay, we'll turn on and off. Huh. Then okay. Okay. Cool. See the screens? Okay, that's fair. Joanna's still working on the computer, so it's fine. Well, that was really nice. Thank you all for doing that. Thank you for schmoozing. Now stop schmoozing.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being so welcoming. You look really far away right now.
Oh, yeah, look at that, because we need to share this. So, okay.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being so welcoming. We're going to start with Hine Matov. The part that you don't have in your books is on the screen. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine matov. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem. Shalom aleichem. Salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem. Salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem. Salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem. Salam aleikum. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine matov. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Lechuna Ranana, page 130. Lechon ranena l'Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Lechon ranena l'Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Nikadem afanav b'toda, b'zmirot nariya lo. Ki el gadol Adonai, u'melech gadol. Akol Elohim, lechon ranena l'Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Lechon ranena l'Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Nekadem afanav b'toda, b'zmirot nariya lo. Ki el gadol Adonai, u'melech gadol al kol Elohim. Lechon ranena l'Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Lechon ranena l'Adonai, nariya l'tzor yishenu. Page 138 and 39, the Chadodi. We will join together for verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Shamar v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad. O shemo echad l'shemo tiferet ve'litchila. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat lechol v'necha ki emek
עכשיו התחילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5, התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Page 121 and 120. Please be seated.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. 144.
Yetkada v'yetkadash merhaba.
Amen.
Ve'amad ivrach irute v'yamlech malchotei. V'chayechon of yom echon. U'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala. Uvizman kariv. V'yimeru. Amen. Yehi shmiram mevarach, le'alam me'amaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, yitba'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, v'yitadai v'yitalev v'yitalav, shemir kudsha brichu, le'ela min koverchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran Belma, Imeru, Amen.
conversations at dinner was about how dark it is, how early it gets dark and how late it stays dark. And it's one of the things that I just find the most amazing, that we know exactly how long this darkness is going to last. It is going to keep getting darker in our world for exactly 7 more days. Next Friday night will be the darkest night of the whole year. And beginning Saturday evening next week, light is going to return. Little by little, I get to fill out the newsletter every month with Shabbat candle lighting times. And I was doing February and March. And by the end of March, when we add in daylight savings time, we're at almost 8 o'clock that we light candles. And here we're at 4:11. So as we thank God for the gift of the way the worlds work, let's think about understanding that as it's getting darker, we have the confidence of knowing that light is returning. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha avta, Amcha avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Aikin Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu, Ukumenu nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, Ki hem chayenu, Ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, Mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. We're on 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, V'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha, V'chol me'odecha, V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, Asher Anochi mitzavecha, Hayom levavecha, V'shinantam levanecha, V'dibarta b'ham, V'shivtecha b'veitecha, V'lechtecha v'derech, V'shachbecha v'komecha, V'kshartam lehod ayadecha, V'hayu letadafot b'neinecha, V'chtavtam amezuzot beitecha u'visharecha, Le'man tizkeru, V'asitem et kol mitzvotai, V'yetem kedoshim Elohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Shira, yes, Carol can come in now. Cool, okay, but you really can, Carol, it's okay. If anyone's coming now, it's their problem. The door's locked, so
But we have people answering the phone in the custodian's
maybe.
office.
Yeah?
The phone rings. Is there?
Okay. Page 156. I'd like you to think about the idea of where we find God's hand at work around us. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously.
158. Mi chamacha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamacha neder b'kodesh. Try it with me. Mi chamacha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamacha neder b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh peleh. Nora tehilot oseh peleh. Malchutecha ra'u banecha b'keyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeheli anu ve'ameru Adonai imlo leolam va'ed. Adonai imlo leolam va'ed. Yai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. Adonai imlo leolam va'ed. Adonai imlo leolam va'ed.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
On the screens. Hashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'shalom ve'hamidenu, Shomreinu l'chaim, Ufros aleinu, Sukkot shlomecha, V'takneinu b'etzah tova, milfanecha, Ve'hoshienu, ve'hoshienu, leman shemecha. Grant us peace as we lay down and close our eyes. You will shelter me and your family neath the shadow of your wings. Keep us safe and raise us up to thy free. warm, filled with love and light. Watching over us, you will carry us safely through the night.
162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי יש ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
The Amidah begins on 164. Even number of pages. Please rise if you're able.
Adonai, Sechatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sechatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, oh Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'mebיא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה
אתה אדוני לחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. (173) May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu v'hamecha Yisrael u'tefilatam me'ahavat kabel. Humbled in prayer, we seek to reach you, hoping to be heard, hearts open wide, longing to be true. Oh, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts so we may hear the still clear voice within us all. May we be worthy in our prayer and feel your presence everywhere. And may we answer when you call. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu me'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam me'ahavat kabel. Oh, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts so we may hear the still clear voice within us all. May we be worthy in our prayers and feel your presence everywhere. And may we answer when you call. And may you answer when we call. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu.
177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lahodot.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Avraham Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam.
We continue silently. Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri v'goali, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri v'goali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, oh my rock, my rock, and my redeemer. We're going to read a little Torah tonight. So the blessings are on 364, somewhere around there?
Something like that?
Something like that?
No.
Nope,
368.
368. Okay. And since we're doing it all together, there's no response in the second line. We just do it all together. So let's join together.
Baruch et Adonai HaMorach, Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Joseph could no longer restrain himself before all who were standing in attendance on him. So he cried, "Send everyone away from me," so that no one else was there when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. He gave voice to a loud wail, and the Egyptians heard. Pharaoh's palace heard. Joseph then said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father really alive?" But his brothers were unable to answer him. They recoiled in fear of him. Joseph then went on to say to his brothers, "Come, draw near to me." So they drew near. He said, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold to Egypt. And now don't be troubled. Don't be chagrined because you sold me here, for it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. There have already been 2 years of famine in the land, and there remain 5 more years without plowing or harvesting. So God sent me ahead of you to assure your survival in the land and to keep you alive for a great deliverance. So it is not you who sent me here, but the God who made me a father to Pharaoh, a lord of all his household, a ruler of the whole land of Egypt. Hurry back to my father and say to him, 'Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me a lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not delay. You can settle in the land of Goshen and be near to me, you, your children, and your children's children, your flocks and herds, and all that they own. I will sustain you there, for there remain 5 more years of famine, so that you and your household and all that you own are not impoverished. Look, you can see with your own eyes, and so can my brother Benjamin, that it's my mouth speaking to you. Tell my father how they honor me in Egypt, and all that you have seen. Hurry up and bring my father down here.' He then fell weeping upon the neck of his brother Benjamin, and Benjamin wept on his neck. He kissed all his brothers and wept with them, and only after this could his brothers respond to him." Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. This is the climax of the Joseph story. And reading it every time, I think of how rotten I was to my sister. My sister's 5 years younger than I am, 6 years younger. And I was a terrible big brother. I don't mean I was sort of bad. I was a terrible big brother. And people would say to me, "Oh, you really love your sister." And I was like, "No, I really don't." And by the way, we're now really, really close. But that didn't happen till I left home. Then we got to be closer. But with as bad as I was, I never tried to kill her. Nor did I ever consider selling her to drug dealers. Yet that's what Joseph's brothers do to him. First they throw him in a pit, and they're going to leave him there to die. And then they go, no, and Judah, his brother, says, "No, let's do better than that. Let's not kill him because then his blood's on our hands. Let's do something that leaves us innocent. Let's just sell him to drug dealers." Because that caravan that was going by that they sold him to, they were selling laudanum. Laudanum is opiate. They were drug dealers. So much nicer. What?
Medicine men. You know, that was the only painkiller there was back then.
They were drug dealers. I mean, in terms of, well, okay, so I'll sell you my brother to medicine men. They were drug dealers. So Joseph goes down to Egypt with them and is sold. They don't want this kid hanging around. They sell him into slavery. He becomes a slave, and he goes through all kinds of events. The mistress of the house accuses him in one of the earliest Me Too things. This one was made up. He goes to prison. He interprets dreams, and the people he interprets the dreams for thank him and promptly forget about him. He works really hard to pull himself out of prison. to restore himself to something that he can survive, and actually ends up as the number 2 person in all of Egypt. But he spent years in prison and suffering and feeling there was no hope. No one knew him. No one was coming to rescue him. His brothers sure were not coming to rescue him. His father didn't know he was alive. He comes to this position of power, and his brothers show up. And they need food, and they don't recognize him. So he puts them to a test to see whether they will again take the easy way out, because the easy way out, since they got rid of Joseph when he was a problem, would be to get rid of his brother Benjamin. And Benjamin was Joseph's only true brother, same mother, same father. So he tests them, and this time they go, no, we did a horrible thing once. We are not doing that again. And they say, no, we would all rather stay as your slaves than allow this child to stay here, because he is the one child left of his mother, and his father would die. Our father would die if this happens. And so Joseph then goes, hey guys, it's me. And then he says the most extraordinary thing. He doesn't say, you stinkers, I'm going to get you. He doesn't say, I suffered for years, it's your turn to suffer for years. He says, don't be afraid of me, because God sent me here for a purpose. The people that tried to kill him, the people that literally sold him into slavery, he says, no. This was God's doing so that things would work out for me, for my father, for all of you. Now, the interesting thing is that from the time of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, the first recorded story that we have where God does not speak to one of those patriarchs is Joseph. God never speaks to Joseph. God speaks to Abraham. God speaks directly to Isaac. God speaks to Jacob. Never to Joseph. And yet, at this climatic moment of what's like really a major soap opera, Joseph knows that God was playing a role. Joseph saw God's hand when God's hand was not super obvious. And I think back to one of my all-time favorite movies, and if you haven't seen it, please do. It's called Oh God. The original, book 1, with George Burns and John Denver. Really, really the best movie about the Bible ever made. And in the second to last scene, God appears to a bunch of non-believing people. And God, in the form of little old George Burns, little old Jewish guy, says something that I've never forgotten. He says, I'm sorry this whole miracle thing got started. It makes the distance between us so much greater. I love that line. He's lamenting the fact that you read the Bible and you go, whoa, God only shows up in the parting of the sea, in huge miracles that go on that just blow everybody's mind. And God, in the form of George Burns, says, thinking like that has kept you from seeing me, has kept you from understanding how close we are. It's put this distance between us that I'm not there unless something happens. I asked my 7th graders, what would it take for you to know that God exists? And they say, well, a miracle, like make cars fly. Something, and they come up with a list of miracles. And I get it. I understand where they got that from. But I point out to them that if cars started flying, it'd freak out a whole lot of people. If they started flying in our parking lot and flew up above the trees, then all the people on Route 18 would crash as they were looking over and seeing flying cars and not knowing what on earth is going on. So because, made it snow in the summer. Okay, well, why do you want to ruin someone's beach day? You know, okay, you can get your miracle, and everybody that schlepped down to the shore is going to sit there in a bathing suit and freezing because it's snowing? Why do we insist upon disrupting the order of nature in order to see God? Joseph looked at the events, which, how do you go from being thrown into a pit to being the number 2 person in the land of Egypt? Second only to Pharaoh, who considered himself a god. How do you go from being accused of inappropriate sexual behavior to being a leader of the country? Oh, that was a bad example. Sorry. Sorry, couldn't resist. Too soon. I know, too soon. How does this happen? Joseph, who never sees a miracle, the sea doesn't split. None of that happens in his life. When he's got the chance to give his brothers back what they gave to him, he says, guys, don't worry. I see God's hand in this. We're here. We're supposed to be here. This was supposed to work out. And I love this because this gives us an alternative to the miracles that God talked about in Oh God. I'm sorry that the whole miracle thing got started. It makes the distance between us so much greater. What if we didn't use Moses and the Israelites as the example of finding God, but we used Joseph? What if we could look and say, isn't it awesome that this happened? And we can always explain it away. I mean, Joseph could have said, I did a lot of hard work to get here. Look what I accomplished while you guys thought I was dead. Look what I did. He doesn't do that. He sees God's hand in what happened. I always go back to this when the baby smiles at you and there's one person in the room who goes, oh, it's just gas. Shut up. No, the baby smiled at me. A human being interacted with me. A little child who doesn't really know anything saw something and thought, this is good. Why can't we see God in that? Why can't we see God in the beauty of a sunset? And not have that person who goes, you know, the sunsets are prettier because of pollution. Why? No, it's real.
It's true.
It's true. The particles in the air catch the sun, refract it, and make the colors more vivid. However, there was some, because
some people just ruin it.
Because they don't see. Why do people do it? Because they don't see. They want to explain it away. I'd rather give it an answer than think that maybe God is involved in this world. So I'll explain it away scientifically, or I'll just be a buzzkill and ruin it, because I'd rather do that than have to think that this is something beautiful that I should be thanking God for. I would suggest that each of us in our lives, and especially as we've lived longer, we've dealt with hardship. Some people didn't survive it, but we did. We've dealt with challenges. Some people failed them. We got through them. Sometimes we passed, and sometimes we failed and used it to help us pick ourselves up and learn from it and go on. And we can just say, you know, look how awesome I am. Or we could stop and say, there's more here than me. I feel it. I feel it in myself. I feel it in the world. I think that this Joseph story, this ending part, presents us with a real challenge. A challenge to decide what we want to see when we look at the world. If we want to see it all as just chemical reactions that happened by chance, that could have not, and whatever, we can do that. But if we look at the extraordinary nature of creation that went from bits of amino acids to people sitting in a room talking and singing and praying together, how can we not see God's hand in this process? People say, do you believe in creation or do you believe in evolution? And I say both. Absolutely both. I believe in evolution, and I believe it's God's hand who guided evolution. Why can't we see it like that? No one smacks us over the head with it. This God does not appear in miracles. This God appears in beauty. This God appears in quiet moments. This God appears when something so heavy was weighing on us, and finally it lifts. And we feel a sense of wholeness. Let's all try to take this challenge. Where could we see God? Where could we see God's hand in our own lives? Could we take a little time just to think of how differently it, whatever it is, could have turned out? Instead of saying, man, I'm just that good that I made it all work out right. Or instead of just saying, pure coincidence, could have happened, could have not. I could be dead, I could be something else. Could we see God reaching out to us, trying to create a partnership, trying to let us know that we're not alone, that what we do with God's help and God's support, and the world we live in is the product of God's love. When we do that, we really, really do justice to Joseph and his dreams.
Song called "A Way to Say Ah" is a way of finding miracles in the day. Ah, oh, ah, oh, a miracle happened today. Was I aware? Did I even care? A miracle happened today. And did I pause enough to find a way to say ah, a way to say a way to say oh, thank God I've arrived. A way to say ah, a way to say a way to say oh, thank God I'm alive. A coincidence happened today. Was a circumstance happening by chance? A coincidence happened today. And did I pause enough to find a way to say ah, a way to say a way to say oh, thank God I've arrived. A way to say ah, a way to say a way to say oh, thank God I'm alive. A way to sanctify the time to remember that on our journey we are not alone. A way to not allow my senses to be dulled to the wonders that I will be shown. Ah, oh, ah, oh, a way to say ah, a way to say a way to say oh, thank God I've arrived. A way to say ah, a way to say a way to say oh, thank God I'm alive. Oh, ah,
Page 371. We ask God to partner with us in healing. We ask God to care for people we love to care for us. Not necessarily to do miracles, just to give us strength, just to help us. If there is someone or people that you are praying for today who need strength, who need a partner for healing, please, as I look around the room, say their names out loud. And let us say, Amen. Yishebera imotenu mikol habracha lavotenu. As those in need of healing with refuah shelema. Page 586 in the middle of the page. Please rise if you're able. Don hakol latet gedula liotze breshit shelo asanu kegayei haratzot velo samanu k'mishpachot hadama shelo samchakenu kahem vegoralenu ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ככתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום השיבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת אין עוד. Page 590. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, Adonai, our God, let them pay homage. Let them give glory to your honored name. Let all accept the yoke of your reign, that you may rule over us soon and forever. For sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written in your Torah, Adonai will reign forever and ever. V'haya Adonai l'melech kol haaretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo The rest of December is actually really quiet for us, but as we look at the end of January and the beginning of February, a lot of things are happening. You'll see them all on the announcement sheet. We start with Eat, Pray, Learn on February 1st. The following Friday is Women's Shabbat, and the night after that is Casino Night. So all kinds of things going on. Please take this sheet and take a look at it. I will share with you one thing that touches me so much and that makes me see miracles happen in this holy place. Really does. Every year when we get to high holidays and we drive that food truck up here, I pray that we'll fill it, that I'll be able to find the words, that we'll be able to do it again. Because I've asked you so many times, we've done it for so many years. I pray that we'll be able to, and we do. And then we get to December, and Shira gets a call from Reverend Smalls in Trenton, who says, I hate to impose, but is there any chance you'll have coats for us this year and toys, because our people have none? And I pray that people will respond again. We've emptied the complete box of coats 6 times. We've emptied the toy bin 3 times. You're incredible people. You're absolutely incredible people that you keep doing this. Do you want to see a miracle? Look at this. It astonishes me how much you care. How much you care for people you don't know, people you're never going to meet. I will write a letter to the whole congregation to say thank you. But we were here last night and Charlie was emptying the boxes again and they were overflowing. Not just full, but overflowing. And I just saw how incredible you all are. And I saw the hand of God. And so thank you for allowing me to see miracles right here in this little holy place. It's really appreciated. Monday afternoon, Social Action is going to be here doing everything they have to do to take these hundreds of coats and hats and gloves and scarves and toys and separate them for Asbury Park, for St. Augustine's, and for Open Door and Freehold, and then the majority go to Trenton. If you're able to help, I think it's 5:45. Does anyone know the time? If you write to me and ask me, I think it's around 5:30, 5:45 in the evening that they're getting together, and they could really use some hands to put it all together. So if you can volunteer, we can check right afterwards, actually, before you go. If you can show up, that'd be great. Students, if you're coming for high school program, and this week is actually for you to bring your folks, so bring your folks and have them help too. You know, cool, we can do that. So I just volunteered them. And when they go, why are you doing that? You go, well, the rabbi said that it's the hand of God, so you have to. So, but if you can come and help, that would be really terrific. And if you want to see me afterwards, I'll look it up and make sure we've got the right time to come and do that, because it's really neat. By the way, it's the one time we Jews really get to feel like Santa Claus. It's like, it's okay, because all the toys are for Christmas. They're not for Hanukkah. They're for Christmas, you know, and you get to carry these big sacks over your shoulder. So it's like, you know, the whole thing. So. No, Sunday's the last day. Right, but Monday afternoon I know is when they're doing it. So I'm here. Oh yeah, sure. You wanted to talk about that. Go ahead. Yes.
Sunday at 5 o'clock, we're going to talk about tzedakah in Islam and in Judaism, and we're going to wrap presents that they're bringing for Reverend Smalls.
Nice. What time? 5, you said?
5. I said 5:30.
5:30. Okay, 5:30. And you just have to be a girl person to do that.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Guys, Torah and tequila is coming. It's okay. It's more.
I can't serve that.
Why can't you serve that? Oh, right, they're Muslim. That would not go over well. We actually had them here for something, And one of the guys looked at the thing and said, Torah and tequila. And he said, well, you don't serve liquor. I went, mm-hmm. Well, but that's not, I said, we're not Muslim. Well, he learned something new that day. So,
Discover many ways that we are similar.
there you go. And a couple that we are different, indeed. So, so we're going to turn to Kaddish on 598. And just before we do this, Carol, would you mind sharing what you told me about the prayer book?
It's so weird. I was putting all the, pages in the prayer book, and the first one I pick up, it has my mother's name, and tonight's her site, and that was like, freaked me out.
Look at how many books are out there in the shelves. And the first one she picked up was in memory of her mother, and today is her mother's yard site. So some people would say that's coincidence. Oh, see? I wanted you to say that because I really, really think I don't think it's coincidence at all. If you're here to say Kaddish for someone in particular, please rise and say their names aloud. May God console you among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei decho beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam ul'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, Shmei Kudsha B'rechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. Page 122 and 123. And after Kiddush, candy is going to be for anyone under 13 or anyone who has, within the past 1.5 years, been at the rabbi's house for dinner. Hey, Hope? Hey, Hope? That's like, it's done on purpose. I didn't want to make you like the only one in our group that's not doing it, so, okay. Yeah, I know, but so. Mm-hmm. And there was evening and there was morning the 6th day. The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the 7th day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the 7th day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the 7th day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu. B'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit. Tihu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר לציית Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'chata, yatanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, b'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava u'ratzon, hinchatanu. Baruch ata Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Is this a Broadway show?
Legitimately candy, unless we're allowed to.
Right, because you never, ever take candy when it's not the right time.
Never.
Yeah, no, I know they don't though. I'm saying they would never. They're very, very good people. They would never take candy just from taking it because they wanted some candy sometimes.
It's your favorite color, that's why.
There you go.
Thank you, Dom.
You're
We are going to conclude with Olam
Bought my house 3
Chesed
years ago. Not qualified.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh is on the screen, and it's about our partnership with God. If we can build this world from love, then God will help as well. Then God will show us the miracle of the love that we bring to it. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadai, Yadai, Yadai.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadai, Yadai, Yadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadai, Yadai, Yadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadai, Yadai, Yadai. I will build this world from love. Yadai, yadai, and you must build this world from love. Yadai, yadai. And if we build this world from love, yadai, yadai. God will build this world from love. I know that some people don't like cold weather. I do. But I'd like to give you something to consider when we get to the really cold nights coming up. Cold air holds less moisture than warm air. On a warm summer night, even a perfectly clear summer night, there's so much humidity around that millions of stars are blocked from our view. In the middle of the winter, on those clear, cold nights, millions more stars are visible to us than would be in the summer. So when you have that incredibly cold night, when you race to get somewhere, could you perhaps stop for a minute when you're outside and look up? Because God compensates for the cold with a vision of eternity. Shabbat Shalom.